Hello, my divinities. Welcome, welcome. So, I already cleansed the area. I had to turn the fan on again because it is hot. But I have a little surprise for you guys today. I'm a little shy about it because I haven't used it in forever, and I don't know, we'll see why I'm feeling called to do this. But I've created my own deck. It has a front and back side. It's very different than normal tarot, so I'm going to call this very much the ArtesanaDivina tarot because it's very unique. So yeah, so I'm not going to be holding up the cards as much because it's just me writing on them, but I will try and still show what I do see on there. Now, today's reading is going to be based off of a dream I had last night. So I dreamt that it was interesting because it was all women. It was my grandmother, my mother, my sister, me. I think it was my Aunt Rose as well. It was kind of like hazy though. You know how dreams are. And we were like in this huge shopping mall. But we knew that we had to leave at a certain time. And we were watching a show. We were being entertained, amused. And when we realized that the show was over, we had stayed a little longer than we should have. And so we were all like panicking, getting out, going to the place where we could get out. It was like you needed special access to be able to exit the giant shopping mall. And so we went to the place where you could get the pass to get out, and nobody was at the counter. And we were all looking everywhere. People were already exiting, but they had their passes. And we were like, how are we going to exit without our pass? And so my sister and I were like, we're going to go find somebody to give us information. And you know how dreams kind of shift? It shifted into, instead of a giant mall, it was like an apartment complex. And there were several buildings now. Instead of several shops, there were several buildings. And we were walking between the buildings, trying to find people, trying to ask them questions. And we came, like behind us, there was a group of girls walking. And then in front of us, there was another group of girls walking towards us. We just didn't realize there was another group behind us. And you know how in a dream you can sometimes feel like the narrator, you know something is going on, but your actual person doesn't know. So I knew that these two girls were about to meet because they had beef. They were about to fight. But me that was walking towards them didn't know. And so we started asking them questions. And then the other group caught up and they realized that we were asking questions. And they started, oh yeah, it was like we were surrounded. It was like the apartment complex was surrounded by drug lords. And that was one thing everybody had in common. So although they were about to fight, they put their beef aside because they were answering our questions. And then even neighbors started coming out and answering questions. And that's all I remember. That's all I remember. So let's start asking questions. See what the hell is going on. What do we need to know about that dream? What's the message for today's collectives? I have an idea, but still, let's verify. Okay. So we're starting off with the 7 rapiers, which is Gemini North Node. And it does say the end of spring, which is on Friday. So that might have something to do with it. We have the 8 goblets, which is Pisces Pluto. We have the 6 spears, which is Aries Chiron. Let me see. We have the 6 teacups, which is Cancer Chiron, and this is the beginning of summer, which is Friday. So the end of spring and the beginning of summer, we are here. What else do I need to know? 3 arrows, Sagittarius Mercury. Nine goblets, which is Pisces Jupiter. And 7 diamonds, Capricorn North Node. I will say I've noticed 2 different, only one card here is autumn, and it's the end of autumn. Everything else was either end of spring. Well, we did have one that was beginning of spring. It was spring and summer. And then the other ones are beginning and end of winter. Well, one does says end of autumn, so it's just the beginning of winter. So I feel like, again, it's giving us a timeline. You know how we were talking about, we keep seeing that timeline show up, something about it, something starting right now and kind of reaching some sort of peak by winter. And then we've got 8 teacups, Cancer, Pluto. Again, beginning of summer. And Cancer is the energy of family, right? Could also be your home. So Pluto in the sign of Cancer, either your family is going to change drastically. So that could mean several things. You could have a baby. For those of you who can't have a baby, maybe you're going to adopt a pet. It could also be, Cancer doesn't necessarily always refer to family that is our relatives. This could be family that you pick up along the way, friends that feel like family, a tribe. But we do have 2 North Node cards here. One is Gemini, one is Capricorn. Gemini is community. It's the people you see day to day. It's your neighbors, it's your siblings, and Capricorn is business. So you might be building a new business community. You might be building you might be building a business in your community. But we also have Pisces, Pluto, 2 Pluto cards. One is your family shifting, and Pluto in Pisces. So Pisces has to do, I'm so sorry, I just ate dinner. So sorry. Anyway, Pisces has to do with your spiritual beliefs. It also has to do with past lives. It has to do with your faith. So if you were the type of person that struggled with faith, and we do have Pisces Jupiter on the table, something is happening that's shifting that for you. I love that. You're going to start having faith in divinity again. You may change some of your spiritual beliefs. And we have 2 Chiron cards, Aries Chiron, Cancer Chiron. So with Aries Chiron, there's going to be a healing of self, of the ego. You know, when I talk about the ego, I don't talk about the ego the way most people do. There's no such thing as death of the ego. Just so you know. Okay. Because I keep hearing that term and I'm like, can we stop? That's not a thing. Our ego does not die. That's like saying, I killed a part of my brain. The part that helps me survive. Are you stupid? No. And maybe I shouldn't say it like that. It's irritating. So your ego will be transformed though, which means that the things you feel you need to survive are going to drastically shift. You're going to heal a lot of things. So before, if you were the type of person that felt like you needed a lot of sex to survive, you're going to realize, okay, maybe I didn't need that. That was just a very physical lust thing. Now I'm more into love making instead of just fucking. If you're the type of person that felt like you needed a lot of public recognition, that's going to change. Whatever it is that you felt you needed to survive, it's going to shift. Then we have Cancer Chiron. By the way, Aries is very masculine energy because of this. It's like the epitome of Mars, the god of war. Whereas Cancer is very feminine energy, very maternal moon energy. So there's also the feeling that not only will the masculine wound be healing, the feminine wound will also be healing. And then we've got Sagittarius Mercury. Oh, wait, let me go to Cancer Chiron again. So again, not only will the feminine wound be healed, but it could also be a mother wound that some of you carry. Just like the father wound may be healed, the mother wound will be it. But see, Aries Chiron isn't so much the father wound to me. I've got to be clear about that. Aries Chiron is the wound of self. The wound of who am I? What am I here to do? What's my purpose? What drives me? What pushes me? What is it that holds my bravery and my valor captive? How can I free myself from that? How can I stand in my power? That is Aries Chiron to me. So with Cancer Chiron, I do think it's mother wound or family wound. For those of you, maybe you're like me. Maybe you've been ostracized from your family, maybe because you're the black sheep, or multiple reasons. That might be healing. You might come across people who are here to embrace you into their family, help you create your own. Sagittarius Mercury also is here. So you're going to be teaching or you're going to be learning. Now, Sagittarius has to do with the 9th house, which is foreign travel. It also has to do with the legal system. It has to do with religious doctrine, higher education, like college, university, and above, if there's anything above that. So you may be in one of those. Maybe you're learning something to do with the law, or maybe you are. It also rules esoteric knowledge, so like astrology and the occult. The difference is Scorpio definitely rules occult energy, and Scorpio's right next to Sag. But where Scorpio rules the ability to perform these things, it rules the ability of using the esoteric. Sagittarius is I want to understand it. They just want to learn about it. So if you have both, you have the knowledge and the ability to do so. Let's get some clarity. I'm going to be using the Zodiac 108 just to give some confirmations. Give me a Gemini North Node, a clarifier. Ooh, okay. We got, see, this is a Cancerian card and it's urn. Loss, death, forfeiture, grief, closed up, bereaved, breakup, poverty, collapse, dispossess, remove, dismantle, deprive, absence, change of state, setback, it's over and done. So, for some of you, remember I said Cancer, Pluto is here, and there could be a big shift in your family. For some of you, you may lose a loved one. I'm so sorry, but this doesn't have to be literal. It doesn't mean that they're going to pass away. It could just mean that maybe now you're going to become like me. You're going to be ostracized by your family, and it will feel like a loss. I can tell you that from personal experience. They don't have to be gone fully from this realm for you to feel the loss heavily. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got Shooting Star, quick action, wish granted, rare falling, moment in time, luck, dynamic, incandescent, dazzled, sudden, short-lived, passionate, passing through, enterprising, and brilliant. Something happening quickly. Let's see, right beneath that, we've got baby. So, I think since it is a collective, for some it'll apply one way and for others it'll apply another. For some of you, you will either lose a family member or lose the connection you have to them. For others, you're going to add family members, little babies, or people that you're taking under your wing. And for others still, it'll be both. So, let's get some more. Let me see. Tell me Gemini North Node. One more for Gemini North Node. See, okay, look. I'll show you. Look at the bottom of the deck. We've got cabin. And what this card represents is lonely, confined, detached, remote, secluded, go within, insulate, disengage, close off, kept apart, quarantine, island, segregate, separated, divide, disconnected, and sequestered. See what I mean? I think some of you, the loss will most likely not be literal. It will feel that way. You'll just feel very lonely. You'll feel very alone. And that's because I think, especially for those of you who are stepping into your spiritual path, it kind of goes with the territory, you know? And look at the card that comes up with urn, pillory, which is an Aquarius card, again, having to do with detachment, being alone. Pillory, open dishonor, humiliation, finding fault, punishment, abusive, shut down, caught, public ridicule and mockery, nowhere to run, censure, serving time, and vulnerable. So for some of you, your family, like for mine, right? My family's very old-fashioned. The way I'm living does not align with their religious beliefs. It does not align with their moral or ethical beliefs. So they believe that they are showing me tough love. That's what they believe they're doing. And so I know that in their eyes, they think they're doing the right thing. Obviously, I don't agree. But I can't tell them what to do. You know, they're adults. They're going to live life the way they think they see fit, just the way I want to do. So in a way, I am bringing them dishonor. Because the way my family is built, I should be obedient. I should be... I should be a lot of things. So I am openly dishonoring my family, is the way they see it. For some of you, you may be dealing with the same thing. For others of you, we do have humiliation here. It could be that you've been suffering humiliation and people being abusive and ridiculing you, mocking you in public, and you have decided you don't want to be a part of that anymore. And for others still, which is kind of close to what I'm going through, right? Punishment. You may be doing something that your family doesn't like, and to them, this is punishment. However, we also have mother load. This is a Virgo card, which is, again, your day-to-day life, your 9 to 5, your work. Also can represent healing. Prosperity, jackpot, success, good fortune, having plenty, moneymaker, sudden wealth, the real deal, on easy street, accomplishment, advantage, fortune, the prime source. So, Spirit understands, it really does, how devastating it is to lose your family, how heavy it makes your heart. So I think that you will lose some people, but you will gain others. You won't be completely alone. Unless you just started your spiritual journey, then you might be a little alone for a little while, but it won't be forever, okay? Clarify the Pisces-Pluto energy. One more. Okay. So the first one, we've got a Leo energy, hot air balloon. And this one says balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rise above, don't resist, new perspective, untouchable, defying gravity, continuous flow, ascension, view, elevate, and feeling good. Then we've got Capricorn energy, the master. And this has to do with discipline, working smart, focus, structure, teaching, training, conquer, overcome, controlled, learning a skill, in the flow, authoritarian, commanding presence. The last one is a Gemini energy, rings. Contracts, agreements, bonds, strong connections, unions, partner, counterpart, lovers, telepathy, like-minded people, committed partner, engaged, interconnected, and soulmate. And before we move forward, I'm going to show you what the overall energy was. Fairy tale. Yeah. It says, believe the impossible, daydreams, romantic ending, universal archetypes, hopeful, magic, unicorns and rainbows, aspire, happily ever after, fanciful, and stories we tell. And it's also, y'all notice this? It's a Cancerian energy. Y'all see it? Oh, look at that. Beneath the fairy tale, we've got person of earth. And the person of earth energy naturally is Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but it also means the provider and caregiver. Grounded, secure, stubborn, nurturing, classy, stable, prosperous, materialistic, possessive, dependable. So this could be a manager, a business owner, somebody who's in banking, or a CEO. Look. I'm so proud of the collective I'm aligned with because I know what the fuck y'all are out there doing. Hopefully shadow work. Hopefully healing. But you're getting your little ducklings in a row, okay? because you're prioritizing what's important and what's not. And it's not about saying that your family isn't important, the people you love are not important. But if they get in the way of your spiritual mission or your spiritual path, then they are choosing to not be a part of your life. So this is what I mean when it says that your faith will be transformed, because maybe for a while you thought you're just going to be alone forever. You thought you're just going to, have to be the strong one for yourself all the time. And somebody's coming in that's going to change that for you. And again, not everybody's going to get into relationships, so it doesn't have to always be romantic. This could be somebody who wants to come and build a business with you. But they will feel like family. You're going to be able to trust them like family. It's going to be very uplifting, but it's that energy of going with the flow. Making sure to always keep your emotions in a very... I talked about this recently. I think the collective I uploaded recently was saying it'll only happen if you have faith. This is that same energy. You've got to make sure that when you think of this possibility, you can't start saying things like, oh, that's so nice for whoever that's going to happen to, but it's not for me. Because by saying that, you're guaranteeing it's not for you. If your guides want to give you a gift and you're like, I'm sure you bought that for someone else. And they're like, no, bitch, it's got your name on it. And they're like, you know how many people in the world have my name? I'm sure it's for someone else. And they're just like, oh, okay, well, this was for you, but I guess not. They can't force you to accept it. But it's coming. It's coming. So cute. Let's see. Clarify Aries Chiron. Aries Chiron. Ooh. Okay. So the first card we got is Pisces Scuba Diver. And this is going within, observation, 0 point, self-examination, exploring the unconscious mind, in the void, desire to know, self-reflection, disconnecting, deep thoughts, and subliminal. Then we've got Corset. This is an Aquarius energy, and this one says held together, boundaries, restriction, prim and proper, following the rules, structured, buttoned up, perfect posture, holding it together, support, shapeshift, and people pleaser. And then we've got no, but honestly with this one, I don't get this as a no. I get the focus being the bridge. A bridge that's under construction. So we're clarifying the areas. Oh, and then the overall energy is train, which is a Gemini energy. Moving on, life's journey, new endeavor, going away, one direction, on track, focus, on time, keep going forward, going with the flow, inflexible, steady climb, no resistance. So Aries Chiron, those of you who have been doing the work, that's who this is going to apply to. Those of you who are starting to step into the energy of, okay, when I make a move or I'm in an environment I'm not happy with, do I do something to get out of it? I have to remember I'm responsible for my reality. So if I'm being mistreated, do I blame the other person? Do I take accountability? Because Aries is self. And it takes a lot of bravery, a lot of courage, a lot of boldness to be able to say, you know what, that was me, I fucked up. I can fix that though, so that I don't go through that again. So those of you who are doing that work, you're about to get elevated. Because 6 spears, it's similar to the 6 of Wands energy. You're about to get elevated. That bridge that you've been working on, it's about to get lowered. Again, going with the flow. Let's see, tell me about Cancer Chiron. One more. Interesting. Okay, so Cancer Chiron. The first card we got is uncertain. At this time, the situation or outcome is undetermined. And that has to do again with those of you who have been doing the work, but now you have become so humble that when a blessing comes along, you're like, I don't think that's for me because I don't know that I deserve it. Now you're overdoing it. Because now we got Leo energy. The first card that came out is Leo, Dynamite. This energy says excitement, passion, action, suspense, destroy, powder keg, fantastic, energetic, breakup, catalyst for change, explosive, short fuse, firecracker, blast, sudden, unexpected, and fast. So first of all, for a lot of you, this is going to come out of nowhere. You did not see this coming. You were not expecting this. But there's something that you deserve. It's something that, oh, also remember the hot air balloon was also Leo energy. So this is about, like, there's a balance here, right? We definitely want to approach our blessings from an energy of gratitude, from an energy of appreciation for what we're being given. But just because we're showing gratitude and appreciation doesn't mean we can't pat ourselves on the back and say, go girl, I'm proud of you. What's wrong with that? That's not arrogance. Arrogance is when you compare yourself to other people and you look down on them and say, I did better than you did. That's arrogance. Okay? The last card we got was Constellation, but it came out reversed, okay? So we had network, support, associates, gathered, meetings, socialized, organization, arrangement, a collection, exchanging data, influence, and connection with a large amount of crowding. Came out reversed. So the reason, the Cancer Chiron, the reason that you guys are doubting that this is for you is because you've been ostracized. It's because you don't have a network. You don't have a support system. So the whole time you've been thinking, I'm all alone. And the universe is like, yoo-hoo, hello, I've been here, bitch, the whole time. Every time you survived something and inspiration came to you, I was that inspiration. Anytime that all of a sudden help came out of nowhere, that was me. So Cancer Chiron and Cancer Pluto are definitely connected because you are having to step out of that energy of I'm all alone, because you never were. You never were alone. Maybe in the 3D you felt like you were, but you had a multitude in the 5D watching over you. And then look at this. We've got Leo energy again as the overall energy. Inventor. Innovation, imagination, creative, gadgets, technology, groundbreaking developments, okay to fail, do it again and again, inspired ideas, setting trends, mastermind, and modern era. Remember what I just said? When you suddenly get inspiration, who's that from? Your guides, your ancestors, your deities, whoever it is that you believe in. So, enough with the crap that you're all alone, because you're not. In fact, it's kind of disrespectful to them when you're sitting there giving yourself the praise of having survived whatever you went through all by yourself, and they're sitting there like, did she? No, she didn't just disrespect. It's like, did she not notice every time I did this? And what about me? I know, remember? And so they're going to start bitching them. I hope you don't go into the 5D. You don't go into the 5D when they're in this mood, because they're going to pop you outside the head like, the fuck is that? Alone my ass. Clarify Sagittarius, Mercury, 3 arrows. Okay. The first card we got is again Leo energy, family. Loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. Like I said, your ancestors have been by your side the whole time. They've been committed to you. They've been loyal to you, faithful. They've been showing you support. They're your tribe. They've been dependable. And it's all come from the sincere place of affection and love and trust. And you're sitting there like, no, I'm all alone. Ooh, that's why it's clarifying Sagittarius Mercury, because they're going to be like, you're going to learn today. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's clarifying Sagittarius Mercury because by now you should know. By now you should have more than enough proof that you are not alone. It's that knowledge. If Sagittarius, I can't talk. Sagittarius is, remember, the energy of acquiring knowledge. What have you done to learn about your ancestors? What have you done to learn about your spirit guides? What have you done to know whether they're the ones talking to you, guiding you, or not? Okay? Then we've got Capricorn energy, crack shot. It's competent, superior, precise, expert, sharp tongue, witty, clear-cut, dead-on, intense, target, showdown, effective, impressive, accurate, skilled, excel, arrogant, and first class. For some of you, I'm going to tell you right now, your ancestors are not too pleased with the fact that y'all think y'all the ones that did this all by yourselves. They're like the arrogance of this one. Okay. The ego on this one. Because a lot of you look at yourself like, it's because I'm so competent that I've survived. It's because I am superior that I've survived. It's because I am intense and I'm this and I'm that. And they're just like, this bitch. Yeah, really had nothing to do with us. We're just, we contributed nothing, I guess. Then we've got person of water, which is, of course, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, the emotional idealist, emotionally connected, psychic, empathic, intuitive, sensitive, heart-centered, feels deeply, takes things personally. Healer, counselor, advisor, and author. This is where we have to be really careful, because I think some of you have you are proud of your growth, but you're kind of taking it too far, in the sense that you're in this place of like, I am a badass bitch. I did this all by myself. It's okay to be proud of yourself. But what you have has been given to you. That's why it's called a gift. If you have the gift of prophecy, you have the gift of healing, whether you have the gift of whatever it is you have the gift to do, don't let it get to your head. Don't sit there acting like you made it happen for yourself. You are most likely water heavy. And I'm not saying you have to be a water sign or you have to have all these water placements. But there's something in your chart where you have a lot of water. Okay? It makes it easier for you. The more you heal, which your ancestors and your deities, your guides have been pushing you to do, the clearer the water is, right? The more pure the water is. Which means that the message will travel faster. The vision will travel faster. But where do you think the message is coming from? Where do you think the vision is coming from? Where do you think the guidance for healing came from? From you? No. No. So if you're in my comments or in anybody else's comments telling me about how great you are and what all you've done and what an amazing this and that you are, I'm like, I kind of cringe, because I'm like, okay. Because it's not from us. It's never from us. We are a channel. We are a mouthpiece. And then the overall energy is winter. Oh, look at what's beneath winter. So we've got winter, first of all. And then we've got roses, which is a Pisces energy, and it represents love, romance, affection, appreciation, devotion, fond, delighted, high emotional IQ, gifts, friendship, infatuated, enchanted, passion, fidelity, tender, yearning, and attached. I did a reading very recently where I said you have 6 months. You have 6 months to get your shit together. It keeps coming up. Beginning of summer and all through the winter. You've got 6 months to get your shit together. If you are still in the mentality of arrogance, or you're still in the mentality of excessive humility, feeling alone, whatever it is that you're struggling with, this is the time to get your shit together. Go get your little ducks in a row. And if you feel like you're already there, keep going. Because wonderful things are coming. Clarify Pisces Jupiter, the 9 goblets. So we've got, okay. First we've got Libra energy, the biker. Then we've got Capricorn energy, the bodybuilder. And then we've got Libra energy again, ostrich trap. And then the overall energy is Gemini energy, wheel of karma. And beneath that again, spring, which we are still in. It ends on Friday. Okay. So Biker says lone wolf style, impervious, nonconformist, standing up, breaking rules, brotherhood, enjoy the ride, loves freedom, moving on, outlaw, maverick, swift actions, need for speed. Then we've got bodybuilder, power, strength, forceful, determined, discipline, vigor, domination, push forward, influence, leverage, mastery, resolve, intense, resistance, self-improvement, and exercise. And then we've got ostrich trap, avoidance, closed-mindedness, refusing to face reality, evade, feeling threatened, fake out, inhibit, fear-based thinking, steering clear, run for cover, just a conspiracy theory. I think for some of you, this is a mix. Because the 9 goblets, Pisces Jupiter, not only does it represent the end of winter, right? So this is when 9 goblets is the 9 of cups, basically. This one, it does translate over to regular tarot. It's the 9 of cups. That card actually is Pisces Jupiter. So the wish being granted, some wish being granted is going to happen at the end of winter. But for the wheel of karma to turn, you've got to do your part, boo-boo. And for some of you who are still in the ostrich sticking their head in the sand type of energy, you're avoiding something. So let's see, what are you avoiding? Let's look at these cards. For some of you, you're avoiding standing up and breaking the rules. You're afraid of being ostracized. You're afraid of being the one on the outside. So you choose to be a conformist. You choose to keep doing what you've been doing up until now. For others of you, there's something that requires discipline. Maybe there's some work you need to put out. Maybe there's meditation that you need to start doing regularly. Maybe your shadow work needs to be done consistently. Whatever it is, it's something that will push you forward. You're supposed to step into mastery regarding this thing, but you're avoiding it. It threatens you. It's fear-based thinking. Because I have seen some comments from people who are like, well, I wish I could do this, but it's because I'm going through this, that's fear-based thinking. Because that's like, you don't understand. No, I do understand, actually. I know exactly what it feels like to have a whole community against you. And when we are stopping ourselves from fulfilling our mission because the community could turn against us, you think it's ever going to change? No. That pressure will continue to be applied because they don't want you to step into your own energy. So there's just a lot. And again, it's free will, right? Nobody's going to force you to do anything. You're going to do what you want. But it does take a lot of courage, a lot of boldness, A lot of determination, discipline, structure to get shit done. Tell me about this. Oh, by the way, let's read the overall energy of Wheel of Karma. Karma, Dharma, destined, inevitable, cause and effect. Divine intervention, cycles, luck, fortune, rise and fall, circumstance, consequence, divine will, and blind justice. The reason that this is really important is because it's cause and effect, guys. A lot of you associate karma and dharma with like, well, I deserved that. Look, there are things that are meant to be on our path. But depending on how we deal with it is what level of that we shall get, okay? So I'll put it to you like this. Let's say that it's part of your path to receive a gift. But you're not really putting in a lot of work. The energy you put into something, think of it like a bicycle, okay? A bicycle that's connected to a TV. And the gift you get is the screen, the show that you're able to watch. So if you go at a pretty consistent speed every day, you get to watch a pretty consistent show. But if you're the type that's like going at a snail pace, you're only going to see little flashes of it. Either way, you're still going to see it. But depending on how much effort you put in, is how much you get out of it, okay? It's a buildup of energy. So for those of you who are like, well, it's destined for me. Yeah, it is. There are some things that are destined for you. But depending on how much energy you put in is what level of the gift you will receive. So that's why I like using the game thing, because the same thing. For those of you who play video games, you know that you can get a weapon that costs you 50 coins, and it's still a weapon, but you can also get the weapon that costs 50,000 coins, and that's the ultimate destructor. But you can't just have 50,000 coins. You have to earn them through the quests you go on. The more risk you take, the more you get out of it. So, similar concept here. Clarify the Capricorn North Node, or the 7 diamonds. Clarify the Capricorn North Node. We've got... Interesting. Very, very interesting. So the first one we've got is Aquarius energy, the water carrier. Second one we've got is Libra energy, blinders. Third energy we've got is Pisces energy, roundabout. You know. There's a passage I have to read to you from the War of Art, but I'll get to that in a minute. For now, the water carrier is humanitarian, generosity, nobility, balance, calm life, communication, compassion, unselfish, alleviate, suffering, benefactor, cares for others, humane, helpful, and ethical. And then we've got blinders, victim mentality, confusion, tunnel vision, resists clarity, confirmation bias, restriction, narrow focus, echo chamber, denial, oblivious, out of touch, hyperfocus, and concentration. And then we've got Pisces energy, roundabout, community, connections, new direction, keep it moving, controls the flow of information, solutions, circular reasoning, fluid, many working parts, perfect timing and redirect. Because I feel like what a lot of you, again, are forgetting is that you are here with a greater purpose. For those of you who are nervous, for those of you who are full of fear, for those of you who are full of apprehension and anxiety, and how will I do this alone? What am I going to do with this? And what about that? And you're forgetting that you're not here. You're here for others. You're here to give. So if you have a project you haven't worked on, get to work on it. If you have a creation that you're in the middle of building, move, go do it. If you have a community you need to build, start, do something. Because y'all are in this energy of blinders, like, no, you don't understand, Rose. Okay, remember, I'm just a channel. You don't have to give me excuses, but you are rationalizing it. Overall energy, Aries, shield. Defensive, protect, support, safeguard, block, guardian. Stand up for, being prepared, heroic, stronghold, security. Ward off unwanted energies. Be on guard and withstand. So you're basically going to get defensive. That's how I'll know. Only hit dogs holler, remember. You'll know if you're the defensive type if you start giving me excuses in the comments like, no, Rose, you don't understand. Okay, you don't have to make me understand. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just a messenger. But I do think, where was it? Confirmation bias, narrow focus. I think a lot of you forget that your life is an algorithm. And the more that you tell yourself, I can't do this because of my circumstances, those circumstances will keep repeating. Capiche? If you want your circumstances to change, you stop what you're saying. You change what you're saying. For example, let's say I already have my community, but let's say I'm building a community. And I say, no, I can't put myself out there because I don't have experience. Then that means that because of my fear, anytime I put something out there, I'm going to have people saying, you don't even have experience. They are returning to me my own energy. Now, thank God I don't have that hang up. But you'll notice that that's what happens because the universe is an algorithm. You will see what you believe, what you're focusing on. So if you're trying to build something and you're telling yourself, I can't because of this, this, and that, that's all you're going to see. Okay? Where is it? Hold on. To close out, I'm going to read this one thing. Oh, here we go. Resistance and Rationalization. I've recommended this book multiple times to those of you who are trying to build something for yourself. I love this book. So he says, Stephen Pressfield, he says, resistance and rationalization. Rationalization is resistance's right-hand man. Its job is to keep us from feeling shame we would feel if we truly faced what cowards we are for not doing our work. But rationalization has its own sidekick. It's that part of our psyche that actually believes what rationalization tells us. It's one thing to lie to ourselves. It's another thing to believe it. Part 2 of resistance and rationalization. Resistance is fear, but resistance is too cunning to show itself naked in this form. Why? Because if resistance lets us see clearly that our own fear is preventing us from doing our work, we may feel shame at this, and shame may drive us to act in the face of fear. Resistance doesn't want us to do this, so it brings in rationalization. Rationalization is resistance's spin doctor. It's resistance's way of hiding the big stick behind its back. Instead of showing us our fear, which might shame us and impel us to do our work, resistance presents us with a series of plausible, rational justifications for why we shouldn't do our work. What's particularly insidious about the rationalizations that resistance presents to us is that a lot of them are true. They're legitimate. Our wife may really be in her 8th month of pregnancy. She may in truth need us home. Our department may really be instituting a changeover that will eat up hours of our time. Indeed, it may make sense to put off finishing our dissertation at least till after the baby's born. What resistance leaves out, of course, is that all this means diddly. Tolstoy had 13 kids and wrote War and Peace. Lance Armstrong had cancer and won the Tour de France 3 years and counting. If resistance couldn't be beaten, There would be no Fifth Symphony, no Romeo and Juliet, no Golden Gate Bridge. Defeating resistance is like giving birth. It seems absolutely impossible until you remember that women have been pulling it off successfully without support, with support, and without for 50 million years. Okay? If you listen to the voices in your head that tells you can't because there's this and there's that, and you have to be careful with this, and you have to be, well, guess what? That's never going to change. There will always be reasons why we shouldn't do our work. So if you keep listening to that, good luck, boo-boo. Okay? So that's what I got for you today. I'm going to do a part 2, which will be on the subscriber side. So I will see you on the other side. At least I hope I do. And I will talk to you later. Mwah. Bye-bye.